My peppers are pretty tired. They're tired of me in particular. They've been growing since the end of February and they have yet to be uppotted or planted. Some of them are sharing one container. Some of them I need to top. They haven't been topped as yet. They're just tired. I have a lot of them that are blossoming, which is good, but you don't want that when they are still in their smaller containers. That way the peppers can focus on getting their roots all spread out in the new containers. The reason why I'm planting most of these in containers is because I really want to try to overwinter them. And it was harder mostly because I was using grow bags. I was busy and it's hard to keep them constantly moist because, as you know, the grow bags, they don't really hold in the moisture, especially when they don't have rain or anything else to aid that. So this year I got some new pots. I actually got them for 99 cents each. It was like a super deal at Home Depot, and I picked up as much as they had that day in black. I should have really gotten some brown, but I was being super picky. So I have about 10 or 12 black containers, and that's what I'm going to use to pot these tomatoes. They are a 5-gallon container. I think I can put 2 peppers in each, but for the bigger varieties like the bell peppers, I may just put 1 in each. So I'm also going to put some of those peppers in ground, especially the ones that I have multiples of the variety. If I have too many, I think I just have 1 or 2 of each variety, but if I end up having 3, which I think is kind of unnecessary, I will then go ahead and gift it to somebody that can use a pepper start. So I'm going to shift these here, and I'm going to grab some of those containers. I have them off to the side already. They're already filled. What happened was my friend's aunt is actually moving, and she was so kind to allow us to come over and actually take that soil that she's been working really hard on. It is amazing, amazing drainage, all of that stuff. The only thing that I would probably add to give it more nutrients is maybe some black cow. I would kind of take off half or maybe 3/4 of the soil and then add some black cow, put back maybe a half of that soil, and then top it off with some granular fertilizer. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I just remember that all of my black cows are in the front of the yard. So I would describe the soil as very loomy. You could kind of see the mixture of sand in there. This would also be really perfect for growing carrots or any root vegetable. That's what I mix my bed in the back with, that I grow carrots, and they grow really nicely. If only the bunnies in the yard would stop eating it. So I'm leaving about 1/3 of the soil at the bottom, and I'm going to grab that black cow, and I'm also going to grab the plantain. That wasn't too bad. Nice good rip across. And the reason why I'm putting the compost down at the bottom, and I'm actually going to mix it in with the 1/3 of soil that I have already in there, is because I want to encourage the roots to go deep down. to get some of this nice nourishment. Just gonna do a couple handfuls. Then mix that bad boy in. And at first I was gonna use plantain, but I'm going to use some chicken manure. I put it in this little pretzel container just so that it's easier for me to maneuver and I don't have to carry around that big smelly bag. This is not the perfect attire for potting up stuff. Okay, so with this set, I have to remember. So we have the long, thin cayenne. I think I'm going to pot that up. Long, thin cayenne, I have 2 of those. So I'm gonna put both in this container. Okay. I did go ahead and give everything a label. Okay, that's perfect because I was worried sometimes I position it where the first 3 is the same, but I did go through and at least do that. So that will be super helpful. So we're gonna do the long, thin cayenne. You could see this one is already bending a little. I know they say for the at least small variety of peppers, the spicy ones, you should go ahead and take out the middle when they're about like 12 inches. So I am actually going to do that for one of these, and I'm going to put a marker. Well, I will also see it when it's growing, just so that I could see if there's really any difference when you go ahead and do that to your peppers. A little squeeze. Roots look pretty good, actually. I thought it would be a lot more root bound. I don't know if you could see that. Definitely next year when I'm doing peppers, each individual seedling will have their own containers. I didn't realize how extensive the roots of the pepper plants were. I really, when I was separating, I noticed that I was losing a lot of their root system. So I definitely want to make sure that next year when I do this, I give them their own containers. And I'm just hoping that these don't grow that wide, and they're totally fine with sharing a space. Actually, last year, I planted my peppers 2 in one hole. Maybe I should do that again. No, maybe not, because I do want to see a difference with topping the pepper plants. Okay, I'll keep them separate, but I'm not as worried about planting 2 in this 5-gallon container because I did plant them together, and it's okay. Peppers like company. I have to remember that. So don't feel bad. Gonna slide. Oh my gosh, these are heavy. Slide you over. I have to remember that this is, you know what, I'm gonna keep it up here with that so that it doesn't have a label. If I put it in here, I might get it confused. So I'm going to keep it in the planter for now. That way at the end, I could take off my gloves and do all the extra tags that I need to do. Okay, so we're going to do this one now. We have the shishito pepper. I don't remember if they get big. Why am I thinking these get really big? Okay, so they are compact and grow about 2 feet tall and 15 to 18 inches across. So they'll kind of grow into each other, which is perfectly fine. Everywhere is absolutely filled with pollen. It's raining pollen. as we currently do this video.
Are there any worms in there?
No, baby, no worms in here.
I said I want to put some dirt in here.
Okay, go ahead. Here.
Here.
Okay, excuse me.
Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome. Compost is in. Ooh, it's. Ooh. I feel like I'm moving to avoid the wind spray of the chicken manure, and as I move, it's just coming directly to me. This smell reminds me so much of Jamaica. I mean, I don't remember if I told you guys, my mom had a chicken coop in the backyard, and behind the chicken coop was her garden, and that's what started my love of gardening. So, although it's a little stinky, I kind of like it a little bit. Don't tell anyone. My husband like complains like, oh my God, it's so stinky. And I'm like, yeah, so stinky. Because I actually kind of don't mind. I'm very used to that smell, and it reminds me of back home. Okay, so let's do the Trinidad pimento pepper. Excited to see these roots. Look at this. That's some nice roots there. Nothing at the bottom. And this is why I feel so bad separating it, because they're just nicely intertwined. It's hard. I'm thinking maybe I could keep this one together. I'm gonna keep this one together. And now we have the purple cayenne. This one is actually pretty funny. Some reason, I don't know if you could see this cayenne, but it already split at the bottom, making 2 liters. That's gonna be fun. So one thing I forgot to note is that peppers are actually perennials. So if you live in the right climate, or you could create the right conditions, peppers can actually last for decades. The first step in overwintering peppers is to have them in pots. You can transfer them to pots later, which I'll be doing with my sweet peppers, but it makes the work load a lot less when you already start them out in pots. So that's why I'm having most of these in pots to begin with. You are not doing a lot to them when you take them inside during the winter months. You're just providing some light. You water when the soil tells you to water. And the main motivation behind overwintering the peppers is that you then shorten the time that you are waiting for the peppers to produce. You will have a pepper that is more established, so you'll be getting a heavier harvest. And because they're already established, once you put them out at the start of the season, this allows you to start picking peppers earlier. I will bring you guys along when I am doing this towards the end of the season, and obviously provide updates throughout the season. But for now, listen to why I failed last year. Let me give you guys a quick overview. Almost forgot. This is the ancho poblano. I separated these. I don't think I'm going to top either of these. This is the Jimmy Nardello. I'm also not going to top this one. This is the pepperoni. I don't know. This one. It's trying to focus. It doesn't know which one to focus on. There we go. That one. I'm not going to top this one either. And then we have the shishito, and I will be topping this. We have the long thin cayenne. I will be topping one of these. Then over here we have a shishito. Oh my gosh, I planted 2 sets of shishito. Okay, definitely have to replace one of these. I was wondering where the official tag was. It's because it's here. So many peppers I planted, 2 of the same variety. Then we have the Tabasco, no, not the Tabasco. Yeah, Tabasco pepper here. The one there is just so that I could remember to put the label there, and then I'm going to plant that one in ground. And then we have the Trinidad pimento pepper. If you remember, I kept them together. And then this one here is the purple cayenne. We have the one that's going to be planted in ground. And then we have the Thai chilies. And we have this one that's going to be planted in ground. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We are running out of light. I did approximately 10 containers of peppers. I still have a good amount to go. I'm going to remove some of the things that I have in containers. I realized that I do have a couple more, and then I'm going to get some of these planted. The rest I'm going to get in the ground as soon as possible, especially the sweet pepper. So I'm going to end it here, but thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, tell me your favorite pepper variety that you are growing this year, or something that you are trying this year that you're really excited about. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.